Hi, welcome back to Celebrating Culture. We're coming to you today from the Rex Den, and I'm with the Executive Vice President of Rex, James Reese. James, welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
James, this was a big year. You guys actually had the idea of the Palio of Sienna. Tell me how you got that.
We did. So we have a creative committee that meets every year that decides what our potential themes are going to be for the coming years. One of the gentlemen who serves on that committee had just returned from Italy on a trip with his wife in and around 2018 and came back having seen several pieces of literature and table books depicting the Palio di Siena race in the town of Siena, and came back and brought that idea to the committee, and everybody was over the moon and thought it would be the greatest parade ever.
It works out well because you have about as many districts in Siena as you have floats.
Interestingly enough, Siena is a town of contrada, or neighborhoods. New Orleans is a town of neighborhoods, and by total luck, they both have 17 traditional neighborhoods or wards that they identify with. And the people of Siena and of New Orleans actually identify with the neighborhood of their birth. So each of these themed floats you see here for the parade this year represents one of the individual contrada from Siena.
Now, so we have the title float behind us, but do you have any favorites?
I do. I think the Palio di Siena float itself, which depicts two riders in the midst of a race, is a great one. All of the individual contrada with their symbology and colors are fantastic. I think the Pope Piccolomini float might be my favorite.
I like that one a lot too. Now, you actually got the ambassador to come in.
We did. Every year we have an honored guest at the ball, someone that we decorate with a Rex award to honor their service in the community or to the nation or their connection to our special theme of the year. We thought it'd be fantastic to have the ambassador to the United States from Italy. Her Excellency Mariangela Zappia was able to attend. She had unfortunately to return to Washington, D.C. for some work the day of, but we were able to present the General Consul to the United States posted in Houston from Italy with an award on her behalf. So it was really special to have her here.
And I understand she was there for Mardi Gras.
She was here for Mardi Gras and for the parade. She stayed here for the parade and then had to be whisked away for official duties back in Washington, D.C.
And Mardi Gras was very special this year.
It was fantastic. It's tradition dating back to the early 1900s and even the late 1800s that Rex would arrive in his capital, winter capital city, by a royal barge or by an official government vessel. In recent years, we have been honored to have the U.S. Coast Guard allow us to have Rex arrive by a Coast Guard cutter. So the tradition has been he arrives in his winter capital and is presented by the mayor with the key to the city, where he will ask via an edict and request to the mayor if all businesses and schools would be closed, allowing the streets to be filled with revelers from both here and from afar, to which she obviously complied, and all went as planned.
It was really a great ceremony, and you give them gifts as well.
We do. We present gifts. The King of Zulu and his entourage are our guests on stage that day. We present gifts from Rex and from the organization to the Zulu King and to his organization. We also present gifts to the folks who run the port facility that are there, the folks that run the Riverwalk that are our hosts for the day. Ambassador from Italy was there as well, so we were able to present her with some gifts also.
And then the next morning, the King gives his toast.
He does. So he starts bright and early, and Tuesday morning, the Rex official picks him up at his home. He goes to the Royal Run, which has become a tradition since the late 1980s. He may not run the entire run, but the Queen wins every year nonetheless. And then he's brought here to prepare for the day. So he starts with an early breakfast, gets his costume on for the day, and prepares to ride. But he does start the day with a toast to all the former kings of Carnival at the flagpole, and he is honored by the Marine Band with the national anthem.
And he's got a big toast with the mayor.
He does. So along the route, there are several stops where Rex makes traditional toasts, but the largest and first of those is at Gallier Hall, where Rex toasts the mayor of the city.
The next step is the ball. And the ball has the Marines, and you had the flag throwers.
We did. So we added a new twist to the ball this year. The ball of Rex, it's not a traditional European masked ball that you might see at other Mardi Gras functions. It has always been what we refer to as a grand reception. So it's larger, folks are not masked, the men are wearing their white tie and tails. We always start the ball with an entry of the Marine Band. They are the first entertainment that the crowd gets to enjoy. They play not only the national anthem, but each of the service hymns where folks in the crowd who have an affiliation with that service will stand and be recognized. It's a great tradition that we really enjoy starting the ball with. But this year we wanted to add a new twist, something that was in line with the Italian nature of the Palio di Siena. And we were able to bring in the Gruppo di San Sepolcro, who are the flag throwers of San Sepolcro. that not only presented at our ball and did their presentation at the ball for about 10 minutes, which was over the top amazing, but they had marched in 4 parades leading up to our ball, including our own parade.
To close it down, you came to the Piazza d'Italia and saw them one more time.
We did. They wanted to do one more performance before they headed back to Italy. We were honored to go have the opportunity after Mardi Gras was over to thank them in person. They made very kind gestures and presented us with a gift for having them. So it was really just a great friendship all around, and to see them one more time perform in the wind and outside and not in the ballroom was very, very impressive.
It was amazing watching them try to catch those flags in that hurricane force winds almost.
They are professionals indeed, for sure.
And then you took a tour of the Cultural Center.
I did. I had a chance with Frank to tour the museum. Special way to close it out. One thing we wanted to do this year was not only honor the history of the Palio of Sienna and the connections or similarities between the town of Siena and the city of New Orleans, but we really wanted to celebrate Italian Americans' contribution to New Orleans' over a 300-year history. We celebrated our tricentennial in 2018, and it's obvious to anyone who has lived here for any period of time that the Italian contributions to New Orleans with art, food, literature, culture have been immense, and the fingerprints are everywhere. So for us to celebrate that this year and then to see it in person at the Italian American Cultural Center and to tour the museum and really get to see it was a great cap-off on the whole experience.
So James, I was down in Buras, and there's a marker down there, and apparently when Bienville was coming into Louisiana, they stopped on Mardi Gras Day and had a party in 1699.
That celebration would actually become the first celebration of what was to become Mardi Gras in the state of Louisiana. That marker was placed there by Rex officials in 1999, and I believe is still there to this day. So yes, this will be the 325th anniversary of that first original celebration.
It'll be something to look forward to for the year 2024. What a great thing to think about.
It's going to be a great year. We're already planning, believe it or not, even though Mardi Gras has just ended, we're already planning for 2024. We can't say what the theme will be for next year.
So James, I understand the grant program is doing really well.
It is. The Pro Bono Publico Foundation is the modern day embodiment of our motto, Pro Bono Publico. It was founded just after Katrina in late 2006 to really try and have the rubber meet the road and really put some substance behind our commitment to making the city a better place, specifically in the area of education. So we supported charter school endeavors at a time when the city itself was really unable to provide the infrastructure to get the school kids back here after Katrina. That grant program is still in full force today, has now given away over $13 million during its lifetime, and I think is up to about $1.2, $1.3 million in grants a year, mostly from private donations from our members. So we're extremely proud of that program, and it keeps getting bigger and better, and we're excited to see what it can do in the future.
Great. James, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
And thank Rex for everything you guys do for the culture and the education in New Orleans. What a great success story, and looking forward to the next year's.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure.
All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of Celebrating Culture.